And let's see what the draw is. We kill everything. We live gain 2. We draw 2 cards because that's how it works. We play a land. We play the Realmbreaker. I think we go for this. And here's our win con. We just need one more turn. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today Esper Control is back on the channel, finally, and I know a lot of you has been longing for some Esper gameplay, and we will deliver today. So what is about this deck? Well, this one is interesting, because in order to get some advantage of using Esper over Azorius, we are using black mana for Intimidation Campaign, and this is extremely grindy card that keeps you, getting more and more advantage, while also life gaining. So we'll combine it with Marina, Vendrell's Grimoire. So basically you draw 5 cards, you cannot die, and every time you take damage you discard a card from your hand. And when you have none, you lose the game. It will be important later. If you don't have cards in the hand, you will lose the game. And the upside is that every time you gain life, you draw that many cards. So Intimidation Campaign is actually 2 extra cards every time you play it. And the Tome is, by the way, 4 extra cards. For this reason, we also play Fumigate instead of Sunfall, because when a creature dies this way, you gain 1 life for each creature, meaning you draw cards with the Grimoire. So this is a very cool concept. We'll try it on the ladder and see how it goes. We'll talk more in the outro, and for now, let's enjoy the show. Basically we have like 12 value cards, so we should be absolutely fine. Of course we kill it instantly. That's what Zur does. It dies instantly at the end step, and as you can see, it's always like this. We have to play untapped mana because we need to start doing as soon as possible. With until Tome, this felt like a really bad hand. At this point, but with Tome it just became amazing. So of course this is like Zur Overlord deck, like a full Zur Overlord deck, probably without the Beanstalks. So this should be honestly pretty good for us. Realmbreaker might get removed, but it will still get some job done before that happens. Oh, and we have Get Lost for it, so that's even nicer. Let's play the tap land on this turn. We don't need too much mana. So, with Fumigate we can basically kill every Overlord. This is a very good sweeper for them. Not only you get rid of everything, but you also get life gain, and they probably will have like 2 to 4 creatures. They can try to activate with Zur something, so yeah, I think that might be happening already. Yep. There's not much you can do at instant speed around it. So I could take this hit and Fumigate everything. I think this is a good 2-for-1, honestly. Man, I'm so hungry. Alright, so this is just 5 life gain. We don't really care about it. Our opponent is fully tapped except this 1 mana, and that's a perfect draw. Alright, with this we should be able to keep refilling our hand kinda forever. Let's go. Yeah, perfect Fumigate turn. And we still have a cut down for Zur. Yeah, let's go. If they play another Zur, they don't have Overlord in the board, and they cannot play anything, right? Everything, like... Theoretically, they can land, Zur, Overlord, and activation. This will be exactly the mana, but, they need to have everything, and they probably won't. Soon we'll start playing Intimidation Campaigns. Alright, that's fine. That's a perfect lockdown target. So we basically try to trade every sweeper into the perfect situation, and we'll see. Already double Zur, by the way. Oh, they're going for a Traxa probably. So alright, so that means this will be a battle. Here she comes. Alright. Land is fine. This is kinda what we needed. Alright guys, let's draw a card. I guess I should scry because we have to exile our thing. But I guess we can take it back later. And this is actually so good. Because the tokens do not get attached to, lockdown. You can actually kill it with Get Lost and get a new tome if you want. So now they will play a Traxa and they have 2 extra mana after this. So let's see. Atraxa is not super crazy scary because we are a mill deck in the end. That's how we win, so the more they draw, the faster we can mill them. but we need to basically try to absorb this huge punch that comes after Atraxa. You know, 5 turns of infinite value into another Atraxa and another 5 turns and then another 5 turns and then they get milled. That's how you play it. Moment Atraxa enters, they just don't stop ever, especially with Up the Beanstalk. Negate is interesting, but probably too late, I would guess. Let's go Intimidation Campaign. Alright. Okay, this is nice. This will be useful later. I think we just kill Atraxa, and that means we can also get more cards. Let's go, let's go. We have a lot to do on this turn. We want to make sure that they never have any pressure on the board. At the end step, I need to draw more Fumigates. Go for the Throat is pretty nice as well. It also targets, so we can... Man, we'll try to literally outgrind the Atraxa deck with our Esper control. The true test. Alright. Normally it's amazing, but we have Get Lost prepared, so it's actually not as great as they might think. I mean, we just get lost, right? So now they have no value here. We can replay the Intimidation Campaign. And then we get more value. The tap is wrong, by the way, but it's fine. You cannot use double Fountainport. We play the land for this turn. And now we have Negate into Go for the Throat, which is nice. And as you can see, and this is like... Well, I think this is kind of the perfect target, right? Do I really care if they get this? Maybe this is a good mana sink for them? No, they will get more cards. I think it's still better this way. I want to keep the board clear and we can get Intimidation Campaign back, so it's a solid value, you know? But we need a Fumigate soon, because at some point we will fall behind on board and we need to sweep it again, so we have 3, so it should be fine. This is fine. Another Get Lost. And that's why drawing so many cards is so useful. Like at some point you just get to the point where you can keep drawing 3 cards a turn and keep answering like literally everything. I don't want to play it yet, they might have some counterplay. Let's go! Let's go! You want the grindy matchup, my friend? We'll try to fight through it. I cannot do anything about this one. I cannot target anything at this moment. But you can see that they started to respect the Intimidation Campaign, as they should. As they should. And we can keep playing the Reef, I guess. Don't forget, they don't have too many cards. Oh well, 35. I thought they would be lower. Alright, and that's the turn. I think we might play Grimoire on the next turn, but we'll see. Maybe we'll take some hits before, so we get lower on the life total. In that case, Fish will be super impactful, because it can mitigate the lethal, so we can survive extra turn, and then you play Grimoire and your life total doesn't matter as much. But I want to play this into Sweeper, preferably. With this we should draw a Sweeper. The weakness of this deck is that they don't deal any kind of direct damage. So as long as you keep sweeping it, they cannot do much about it, like for the full game. And I think we make a token here. You know what? I'm changing my mind. No tokens. I will just get rid of those map token value, because they will probably target another one now. And when we are out of cards, I mean, we draw 5. Easy. And that should be good enough. That should be good enough. This is such an interesting card. And this might be our win con, honestly. 3-6, we cannot play this, because if we draw Fumigate into land, we can play everything on one turn. Here comes the Overlord. Oh, this is such a good draw. I don't know. Let's go for it. I think this is a good spot. And I literally play the land. But I don't need Fumigate because the board is empty. So, okay, it's fine. It's fine, Sloth. And let's see what the cards are. Even if they leyline binding, it doesn't matter because I already got 5 cards. It's actually worse for them. Man, this card is the worst nightmare. We are getting basically a new hand, and we have no maximum hand size. We can keep stacking those answers forever. Yep, I will always... So they might be checking the wording if there's any moment. If that gets removed, we don't get the cards. Alright, and this should be the Realmbreaker. I got absolutely punished for playing this tapped land. As I should. I said it is a mistake, and it actually was. I didn't think about Realmbreaker into activation. I was only thinking about Fumigate. But they're both 5 mana plays. Still, we can draw a card instead, so it's not the biggest deal. Like, it actually might be better in a way. And our opponent got us to 1 card with the crazy Atraxa value, and we just have a new hand. And they need to start over. Oh, here goes the Zur. Let's see how much. I see 12 damage only. Only 12 damage. Oh, but then we need to remove a lot of cards then. Oh, that is a bit of a pain. That is a bit of a pain, but we'll draw. If I can't... Oh, I will lose the game then. Okay. Unless they don't attack. If they attack with the second Overlord, it will be exactly 11 damage, right? Alright, maybe they don't sit, maybe they don't know how the card works. Which is one of the biggest upsides of the card, to be honest. I really, yeah, with Zur they can actually go for haste creatures. They still have, I think, 1 Zur in the deck, right? Yeah, because we only solved 2 of them so far, and this is the 3rd one. Alright. I think our opponent doesn't realize how this is working. I think they think that you know, we just draw cards and we don't get damaged. Or something. Let's see, they have last 2 mana. Oh no, the last 2 mana is highlighting Zur. I mean, they should go for it. But they aren't. They actually don't know how the card works. Alright, you know what? At this point, I will absolutely take it. So 5. That means we have to draw with the Tome. We have to draw with the Tome here. That's super important because we need to exile Farka. I would love to get all of those 3 cards. Alright, this is an easy choice. So what are the last cards? I think we go for the Jace plan. And I think we have to give up the counter spell, especially with all those caverns. So we Fumigate and we life gain, which means we draw extra cards. That's why we played this over Sunfall. And that should honestly be good enough, I think. We'll see. Let's go for the Fountainport. And let's see what the draw is. We kill everything. We life gain 2. We draw 2 cards, because that's how it works. We play a land. We play the Realmbreaker. And we can play either Intimidation Campaign and draw a card, or go for the Tome. I think we go for this. And here's our win con. We just need 1 more turn, and I think we can do it. Right? Well, I guess 1 more, because we can mill 18 cards, but we'll see how many they draw. We'll see how many they will draw. Alright, let's see the decision. The correct decision is Zur into activation. But I hope they will go for Atraxa or Sa. I think they should be playing for Zurs, right? Because sometimes they might play 3 or something, and maybe they didn't have the target. But it's fine. This is so fun. Like, we are bordering defeat, but our opponent doesn't know that there is a win con. We can absolutely buffer all of this. As long as it doesn't kill us on 1 single turn. And I will absolutely scry with the Tome. Man, this is intense. Another land. As you can see, nothing has haste. We can answer this with lockdowns even. Binding. Alright. On what? I think they might target Grimoire, but let's see. 16 cards, by the way. Tome! A very good call, but we can still use it at least here. Definitely not the card. I think we'll win this. I think against all the odds, we will win this with the help of Grimoire. Oh, and this might be the first game ever I've ever won, thanks to those 5 extra cards from Grimoire. Alright. I mean, we draw a card. What more to say? Let's go to the main phase. We play Jace. We check if it resolves. I think it should. They don't run counter spells. And we win the game. Just as even. We should never win this game. We should absolutely never win this game, but it was actually pretty fun. Let's see what the counter play is. Even if they target Realmbreaker, we can just activate it instantly. Sure. I mean, what's the harm in doing this as well, right? It's not like we are not doing it. We can also attack with the Reef, because we have the right mana, especially if they tap fully. It's not important to keep the campaign. And we'll mill exactly 18 cards. Oh boy, what a game. I hope you enjoyed this one. Alright, we're going first. Oh my god, this will be such an awkward hand, but it is playable. With the Tome, everything is possible. Alright, Dimir. We definitely need to... Like, this being on the play is insanely important, because Dimir can actually counter this, and if you lose your Tome, you lose most of your value. So being on the play will be the most important part of the game, probably. That means we basically got awarded 4 extra cards on top of this. This draw is absolutely amazing as well. So it was a rough start, but our draws from the top are insanely good right now. And yeah, being on the play completely changed this game in our favor. So now we are a pretty favorite, I would guess. We missed the land drop though. I think we just keep interaction. It's not good to miss land drop. This is the deck that can basically use infinite amount of mana. And I would love to play Realmbreaker, but I cannot do it into open mana. I will consider scrying for the land. I don't think we can miss again. Like, we were super ahead, now we are just a little bit ahead because of this land. Alright, let's go. Please land from the top. We have 23 more. Thank you. Still no Azorius mana, but you know what? I'll take it. I will actually take it. Main. Yep. From mana we have 8 cards, so we should probably start doing stuff. I will play another Tome because I have a cut down, and I still want to remove the creature that they might play at the end step. What? Nothing? Okay. Interesting. I will scry for land. We cannot miss any more lands, alright? And it's a white mana finally. We just needed 1/4 of the deck for it. Alright, and now we can start doing cards, removing creatures. It seems that nothing is happening because we need to keep our guard up. Every time a creature enters the battlefield at the end step, we need to be prepared. And now we can start doing cards and getting a little bit ahead. There's a Reef. I need a land. Right, I think we'll start curating our hand. I will start to discard lockdowns. I need to see if we didn't draw this card, we would miss a land drop. And we are recovering like a champion right now. And I think this might be the turn when we go for the Realmbreaker. This card is absolutely devastating to them. And we also have a counter spell. With this, we don't need to do anything for the rest of the game unless our opponent makes a threat. Because our main threat of the deck is already in the board and it will start completely taking over the game soon. And this, in 2 or 3 turns, our opponent will probably leave the game when they realize how far behind they are. It's not about milling, it's about this extra mana that you are getting every turn. Thank you. It also hits the perfect spot in the art. I absolutely love it. Alright, land. You need to keep playing lands with this deck, it's so important. And we keep everything. They cannot beat us, because our board is just simply stronger. And it's funny to say because we have no board. They have Reefs, but Reefs die to go for the throats and our opponent knows about it. And every turn we get more mana and they are closer to getting milled. And we still have enough counter spells to make the counterplay to anything they are doing. Deadly cover-up, something we definitely need to, be careful of. I will start making fish, even though they get removed very easily. At least the first ones. And that's fine. Let's keep playing clans. Now we can attack. If they activate Reef, of course we can kill it, so they probably won't do it. Yep. Damage shouldn't matter, but if we make like 3 or 4 fish, it actually will start stacking and force a 5 mana play out of them. Soon we'll probably get Deadly covered up. How much? Can we do it twice? No. So we go for this. And we can also steal our opponent's Reefs and Fountainports, which is nice. Or just Demolition Fields. And this is so fun. This is actually so fun. We'll play the whole game out of their deck. And I think... yeah, we don't need to do anything here. We are getting more and more ahead every turn. Let's full swing. I will destroy the Fountainport, so we have basically the only Fountainport. And when we destroy it, we can take it with Realmbreaker, I believe. Let's risk it, guys. Let's be super aggressive and play a 3 mana draw a card. This is as aggressive as a control player gets. We deal 1 damage, alright? So it's basically about trying to cycle the card so we get into our maybe Jace. That will make killing them even faster, and we absolutely need counter spells. It feels that our opponent is also stacked with a lot of counter spells. I wonder... oh, so this is Omniscience deck with probably Atraxa and Jace, I would guess. Something like this, maybe. Or maybe Invasion of Arcavias. They countered it. That's great. That's great. I think I will start doing a Dance Step. Because I think I need to draw into more counter spells. Alright, now we kill it. That's kinda important. And this is a very scary turn. Like, there is a chance our opponent will start playing their big stuff on this turn, and we need to be prepared. Let's take the land. Fortunately, we have those. I made sure that we have some basics just in this case. Alright, and this is super important turn. And as you can see, they are preparing not with the fish token, but with treasure. They know that this will be a mana battle, but we have 3 extra mana on this turn, so mana-based counter spells shouldn't hit us yet. We can counter 1 play, but only 1. This is their turn to go off, to be absolutely honest, but if they miss it, I think we can draw into more counter spells, and that would be perfect for us. I cannot tap too much mana. Oh, Demon. Oh, I see how it is. I see how it is. A Duress. We know what they will hit. Do they already have the thing? 3, 6, and a Jace. So, man, we actually might get hit by this fully. I can try to hit a counter spell from top. I think I have to counter, because otherwise they will go for the play. Here they might think that we still have 1 counter spell. We cannot counter the Demon, the Excruciator, however, we can counter Jace that goes after it, and we have Realmbreaker. However, we actually will have 1 mana to activate Realmbreaker. It would be easier to have Negate in the hand, but it's fine. We'll try to work with this. Also, if they cast something else, that means they don't have mana for Jace. Like, this turn is super mana intensive for them. Yeah, I think they gave up the whole plan, which is super nice. Let's go for the Realmbreaker. So that's why they do not care about meaning, because they will get rid of all the cards except 6 anyway. But we are still getting all those extra lands. This is probably the most important turn, so let's scry. We need to hit those counter spells. And our opponent doesn't know what exactly we have, so we can bluff a little bit. We could go Aether for Tome. We can draw 2 cards here. I think we go with Tome. Because our opponent is gearing toward making the play, and they are scared of open mana. And I really want to win this. I think we should be able to if we bluff right. I need to make a little bit longer stops because I need to pretend that I'm considering their plays. So, you know, they're probably looking for counter spells as well, if they have those in the deck. Or duress. They might actually not have... oh, we know about those. But I mean 3 steps ahead, like hard counter spell. Alright, they're stacking their hand. We both are stacking our hand, basically, with duresses and counter spells. Here's the Jace. So they didn't take the Jace. That means the other card was probably also Jace. The problem, so the demon is uncounterable, but the problem of this deck is that the win con, the actual win con Jace is counterable because it's not a creature. So they can play Excruciator and then I will mill them. They need to resolve Jace into counter spells, and that's their problem. The only upside for our opponent is that I literally cannot draw those counter spells. We have the win con, but we are not having it in the hand. And we need to bluff so our opponent thinks that we have it. That's why I'm not tapping any mana, pretending that I'm gearing toward battle. And I think our opponent might have a winning play. They had Jace in Confounding Riddle, right? They also had probably Demon in the hand, I would guess, because they play quite a few. And I think they just gave up thinking we have a counter spell. Alright, let's go with the Tome. And yeah, we will have to do so much work with this Tome. I'm not sure, maybe we just keep scrying, honestly, because all we have to do is get to our double white mana. the whole counter to this strategy is playing single lockdown. So we have to make an upkeep stop, our opponent just, you know, plays creatures and does the same thing, as always. And so, if you want to be better at Magic, alright, we'll learn how to be a masterful control player right now. We need to draw 2 white mana. Right, double Fumigate and no lands. I see how it is. I see how it is. Alright, that is a weird stop. White mana. White mana. The first one has just been unlocked. So, we could go for Jace to buy us time. It's not a bad play. It's not a bad play. We can also get lost something, which is probably a little bit better. It protects us against the pump spells. We still need to draw another white. We don't know how much time we have. Yeah, we have double blue mana, so if we whiff, Jace is better on the next turn, because this is basically like we waste 1 mana here, but the next turn is perfect. We have to take this damage from the close. It's something you just have to deal with. Let's see if there's a pump. 3 damage. So be it. So be it. It's worth their... I mean, they need to progress somehow the board. Oh, they're just leaving the board at this. So let's make the upkeep stop. They didn't even go for the Hired Claw, which is interesting. That might mean a Lightning Strike at the end step. So do we go with Get Lost? It depends if we draw a land. So if this is white mana, we don't need to do anything, we play Lockdown. If that isn't white mana, we want to get lost now. They are kinda mana screwed. But I still think we have to buy time. Let's go for the Claw, because it triggers out of another Claw. They can pump this one. They're not going for it, so that means they're saving mana for some end step play. Let's try to scry into our white mana. Go for the Throat. I mean, it's not nothing. You know what? I'll take it. This is not exactly the card I wanted, but it might be just good enough. We go to 6. Yeah, this won't be super easy for them to burn. And Jace cannot be easily ignored unless they go for 1 turn Mifa, because it mitigates so much damage. I think we go with the Swift Spear, because right now they cannot pump Claw at the end step, and if they pump Claw, they at maximum have 1 mana for the whole turn, which is way too little, so they actually don't have good choices then. And I think we won't scry, we'll try to draw the card with this. We'll see if it works, but we'll try. 6 loyalty and 1-2 in the board. Our opponent had nice opening, but maybe it's breaking point where they are falling behind. Full swing with -2 Swift Spear, that tells the story. Here's Shock into Monstrous Rage. Sure, that's fine. So only 4 damage. So, what do we go for now? We have to probably kill what? We can double kill this, which is really nice. I actually think we start minusing. No. We go for this. Then we go for the cut down on the claw. And then we go for the throat. I would love to be able to play one of my, 8 sweepers during a matchup where it's designed to be the biggest win con. But of course we can also just have exactly the wrong mana for both of the cards. Stuck on 4 mana so we cannot Fumigate, and on 1 white so we cannot lock down. This is so funny. This is exactly everything wrong. However, I think we are still in okay position. I think we might need Fumigate to close this game. On 2 mana our opponent cannot kill us. And let's see what the play is. Village. Alright, so they got the land, so this is the draw from this turn. So they actually don't have any new cards then. Sure. And they can try to go for the village, right? Honestly, map token is probably better. Oh, but they don't get haste, so that's true. I mean, yeah, let's go. So we kill it in response. And as you can see, the Swift Spear is fully disabled right now. And that means we can draw a card as well, which is pretty sweet. No sending the message, alright. I would love to draw this card. The tap land on the final 5th turn. Alright, I see. So I think we still have to go for this plan. We get rid of the Swift Spear for a turn. And I mean, let's be honest, we will draw this card, so it's better to do it now, while they cannot burn us in response. Let's go to 7 and get another Jace. Alright. We still, man, this is kinda crazy. It's 1/4 of the deck. We actually never hit 2nd white mana. So, we can draw with Jace later. So I think they will try to pump through this. And we can always mill the card if they like it. But this is a true fight, man. I cannot believe it's still going. But it's literally all based on the wrong draws. The whole gameplay is basically about wrong draws right now. Right, let's see if they have priority. Double shock. Alright, down. Number goes down. Number always goes down. And I think this is the time. We have to hit something finally. The claw is actually okay, but I need to hit a... Bro, literally. Alright, this is incredible. So, we are stuck on double sweeper, we cannot play any of them. That would basically win us the game because the live game doesn't matter. The damage doesn't matter because we can live game through it. And we have exactly the combination of mana that doesn't allow any of those cards to be played. Wow, I mean, this is definitely something. Alright, so our last game plan literally has to be activating Reef, and they will kill us because of this. This is kinda crazy. I think there is no combination of mana that hits so wrong. Alright. Oh man, that's what I get for trying to make an Esper deck. There's no way. Those 2 cards are Monstrous Rage or Burn. So that's game. And if you want to know the counterplay is drawing better cards. Alright, and our opponent is opening on Golgari. We kinda have a pretty nice hand, honestly. I don't really care. If they play some bigger creature, I will just try to kill the bigger creature. Here is the Preacher, perfect. That's the type of target you want to see. So we don't really care about the Earth super much. If they play 2-drop, we just lock down it. If they don't, we just kill the big thing. And Intimidation Campaign is the reason we are getting slowly ahead. So we will keep grinding them turn after turn, and as long as we can keep hitting lands, we should take over the game soon. Oh, this is not the play you want to make. 3 damage. Looks nice, but not really. And let's go with Intimidation Campaign. Like in this case, I'm just going for it because the life gain from this card is actually meaningful. Like it feels so small, it's just 1 life, but when you start repeating them, man, your number doesn't go down. What? Really? Really? Well, that was pretty good for our opponent, not gonna lie, but we have Fountainport, and that's also why you have Fountainports. We also have Tomes, so in this game of value, our opponent will not win. If they attack with us, I will absolutely take it. So it feels that they have removal in hand. I'm fine with it. We keep trading for cards, and you can see, right now we are already even, and it will get better. So sure, they have cut down, they got one damage, but on the next turns it will be worse for them. Same, but worse. And at some point they won't have a cut down anymore, and the fish will start trading and then drawing cards. And that's where when we win. Definitely would prefer to have fun with my intimidation campaigns, but yeah, this hits pretty hard. And normally it's not a problem, but on this one turn it was hitting perfectly, because I didn't completely play around it. Normally you can just go for the throw something, this triggers, and you take them back into the hand. Alright. That's fine. Only this, so very likely they don't have removal anymore, but it's fine. We take 2 damage, they didn't even pump it, which is interesting, and I will continue to make fish, so I don't need to tap on my turn anymore. And now we have those tomes, and as you can see, it's just a matter of time where we grind them out of the game. Soon we actually won't even need to care about this. Of course, Go for the Throat cannot target it because it's an artifact creature, so that's the only downside. We will hit cut down for it probably at some point. If not, we'll just tank it. And as you can see, our opponent just has no game plan. Well, I hope you enjoyed those games. I'll be honest, they were pretty crazy, and I still cannot get over this draw of the mana base. However, since then, after that game that we lost and we couldn't hit the mana, I actually increased the waste, because originally I had 2 waste and 2 Dimir Painlands, and I switched them. But to be fair, I didn't draw Dimir Painlands, I've checked the video, so it wouldn't make a difference in that game, but I realized how incredibly important it is to hit double white as soon as possible, because you get overrun with like 80% of the meta decks if you don't draw this. That's why we play both Lockdowns and Fumigate. And Fumigate is probably one, like in this deck, it's probably one of the only reasons to play this over Sunfall, but even here I actually felt the difference. Like this token gives you so much like freedom to do stuff. If you don't have it, the life gain is really nice, but you still need to get the cards somehow. So honestly, I also didn't have Tome in the first version. I was just running something like this. And I'll tell you, the difference is absolutely massive. Moment I added tomes, suddenly the deck started working, because for intimidation campaigns is just not enough, it feels. So we won't go super crazy long on the outro, but there are some important things that I think we need to mention. But first, a huge thank you to our patrons for supporting the content like relentlessly. Thank you guys, and I hope you are enjoying, all the content on the channel. Thank you for being here. And yeah, Esper. There is a reason you don't see Esper. First, you have seen it, that's why I also really wanted to show you this one game. Sometimes things go wrong on the mana base, and even though we have really nice mana base for 3-color deck, and by the way, if you are wondering why so many fast lands, I mean, look at this. This is your game plan. Go Jace. And this is your late game, so you actually don't need to hit more than 3 mana to at least solve the board, and you need to do it as fast as possible. You don't want tap lands. We only have Reef because they synergize so perfectly with Jace, Realmbreaker, and basically our whole win con. So, and by the way, we split Jace and Realmbreaker because then Deadly Cover-Up cannot extract, one card as a win con. I was considering Robberies, but I think just Jace and Realmbreaker here are more like compact, because in this deck, with Intimidation Campaign, you have infinite value, literally infinite. All that constrains you is how much mana you need to pay. You basically can add kicker to every card that targets that says draw one card and gain one life and your opponent loses one. This is basically like a kicker to every instant that you have, or even Planeswalker, because Jace can also target, and also the Realmbreaker. So the more mana you have, the better. With Realmbreaker, you not only mill them, but also increase your power, which means more cards, which means more counter spells and more control over the game. So that was the whole idea. However, about the results and stuff, even though we went 3-3, I'll be honest, it doesn't feel like a 3-3. One of the games should be lost because I'm not sure, maybe my opponent was just trying to be nice, or maybe they completely missed the play. I think they tried to win, so I think they just completely misunderstood how this card works. They should just hit for 11, and I don't have 11 cards in the hand. That means I'm discarding all of them. Then if you have no cards in hand, you lose the game, and that's how it should end. So in reality, it should be 2-4. Sometimes opponent misplays, but it doesn't change how the deck performs. The deck should lose that game, so I think 2-4 would be more fair, but sometimes you get this lucky win that you shouldn't, and it kinda feels like weaker version of Azorius. I'll be honest, I really like this kind of gameplay, but Azorius is just cleaner, faster, and it has all the important cards that you kinda need. Of course, the Grimoire is a bit of a fun twist to the deck, and I think it has sometimes its use, but it's very dicey, so it's not very consistent. But yeah, Azorius is just a little bit better in everything, and that's why you probably don't see Esper. And even though the mana base is kinda as clean as possible with 3 colors, it still will sometimes get you, and you lose some consistency, and there are not too many black cards that you actually need to use. Removal is nice, but you have kinda get lost for it, so it's a little bit dicey. I like having some cutdowns and go for the throws, but the price is high. I think the best reason to go Esper is to play Intimidation Campaign without the Mirror Shell, so we can get those sweet sweepers like Lockdown and Fumigate, and I think this might be the best use of the deck, to be absolutely honest with you guys. So, not the most competitive version in the end, but I tried to make it work, and I think we did a decent job today. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing, liking, or just even go further and join Patreon or memberships to support the channel and get some goodies. And yeah, that's it for today. Really thank you guys for watching until the end and for being here, and I hope you will have a great day. So thank you guys, and see you tomorrow.